This is called, what's it called? Yeah. We're letting you know we're recording in progress. What's it called? Owl? The owl. So you will forever be on video. How exciting. You can tell all your friends and relatives to watch you. Good morning. My name is Cindy Cummings. I am one of the founders of LT Senior Services. We are a nonprofit, and our goal is to help older adults navigate through life in the Lake Travis School District. So we're pretty specific about who we serve. The way that we help serve older adults, of which I am one too, as is many of our members, we help by doing events such as this. So we do monthly seminars. Our seminars are held here with our partner from the library. We're very happy to be a partner with the library. They're awesome. We also hold the Aging Wealth Expo. That'll be in September. We just got done with the Shred Day. That was very successful. We made about $1,400. That's our biggest fundraiser. It's better than baking cookies. So we're out there for about 2 hours schlepping boxes, and we have a lot of people who come from all around the city for our Shred Days. In addition, we will be doing a Christmas event where we go and we walk the Lakeway Trail of Lights. And so it's super fun. We meet up at the activity center. We have hot cocoa and cookies, and then we all go together and we walk through the trail. So it's a very fun day. So LT Senior Services, we have about 35 nonprofits and business members. And I'm just going to have the business members come through real quick and nonprofits and just say hey to you. So first one, it's you. So.
Hello. I'm Alex Murphy. I'm a physical therapist with Baylor Scott and White Rehab. And so Baylor Scott and White Rehab has just started a new program, which I wanted to tell you about. It's our outpatient at home. So we bring physical therapy to you, whether that's because difficulty leaving the house, just had a surgery, not supposed to drive, if you're not driving anymore, whatever the circumstance, we just want to make it convenient. And so it's 1 hour sessions in your home, or if you want to meet in a park for your physical therapy session, we'll meet you there too. So Baylor Scott and White Rehab has just started it. And so you can ask your doctor, or if you're currently in PT, you can transfer over pretty easy. So thank you.
Thank you. So we have another great member. Oh, please come and stand on this side over by the owl, I bet, right? Okay. So our next member. Yes.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Eloy, and I'm with WellMed Medical Management. We are your local provider here in Lakeway, and we primarily focus on primary care for older adults, focusing on preventive healthcare. So that means we want to take care of you before you get sick, before any chronic illnesses happen. We want to make sure that you're not going to the hospital. We want to make sure that we spend the time with you. So we take about 10 patients a day. Your appointments will probably last around 30 minutes to 45 minutes in total. And we have a great doctor here, Dr. Pirtle, who has been here for years, and he would love to see you as a patient. So if anyone here is looking for a new doctor, or you just general thought of what you want to do for your health, please stop on by. Our clinic is actually right down the road. We would love to have you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. The stories of our lives are valuable. They are treasures. The stories of our lives are part of our legacy. I'm Whitney Myers, and I specialize in life stories. I have a business called Sacred Stories. It's in your member directory, where I help families capture and preserve their most important stories of their lives. I primarily work in film, so video biographies, but I also lead memoir writing workshops. I've hosted storytelling circles for all ages and conducted guided autobiography classes. I love what I do. It's a privilege, and I love being a part of Lake Travis Senior Services. I would love to connect with you and help you get your project done. My name is Whitney Myers. My business is Sacred Stories, and my website is sacredstoriesfilms.com.
We just celebrated an anniversary.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, it's time.
Sure, if there's somebody else.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me? Everyone? Wow. Okay, great. All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Schiller. I am a board certified financial planner. I run my own financial planning practice. Aside from being a father of two right here in Lakeway, two kids, my guys go to Serene Hills here. My life's passion is helping my clients answer their most important life's questions regarding their finances. Do I have enough to retire? Are my investments allocated properly? Am I overpaying for my Medicare supplement plan? Do I need someone to shop that for me? Am I overpaying for my auto insurance? All of these things I do for my clients, and but one in particular that's come up recently is are my adult children, do my adult children have a plan? Do they have a plan put together? Do they have a budget? Are their finances in order? And that's where I can come in. And so I'd love an introduction to yourself. Please come up to me. It doesn't cost anything to talk to me. And thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bobby Scruggs, and I am the owner of First Light Home Care of Austin. And we provide non-medical home care services for older adults, people with dementia, our veterans, and people with disabilities. And we also provide respite care for primary caregivers who just need a break. And I know there's some of those in the audience, don't always shake their head, but I know that there's some everywhere I go. So one of the things I just wanted to share with you is that in this kind of constant world of people discovering that they have these chronic illnesses, you know, don't feel like you're alone. There's always somebody out there who can share with you. So all these folks can provide some type of support. So just look them up. Look us up if you need us. First Light Home Care of Austin, my name is Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby.
I guess I should probably introduce myself. Cindy Cummings, and I am a realtor. My specialty is working with older adults. I have an ancillary business called Turnkey Transitions, where we help people move from their big home to a small home. So that's me. One of the other things that LTSS has done is we are preparing for emergencies. It's been a passion of ours to help older adults be prepared. We have the emergency management personnel come from the city of Lakeway. It was very interesting what they had to say. And because of that, we have emergency bags. So this is our emergency bags. Thus far, we have given out 20 bags. They're about $75 to $100 based on the content of the bags. We are doing a fundraiser now because we ran out of money. We had money from HEB, but we spent it all. So we have a matching program right now from Be Well MD, and their matching program is $500. So for every dollar that gets donated, they'll give $1. We have a QR code up here. So when you all leave, if you want to, you can just make a donation here, or you can write a check as someone else has done in the audience today. Okay. So our next seminar is May 14th, and the title is Alternative Approaches to Health and Wellness. So we're going to be looking at some interesting ways to stay healthy. It'll be held here. We also have an extra event. It's on May 3rd. The library is hosting, and it's lower back pains treatments that can help. This doctor came and spoke, but we didn't have tech. It was a problem. And so, tech, it's an issue. But anyway, so he's going to be live again on May 3rd. I would highly recommend you come. He was a great speaker, answered a ton of questions for us. Okay, without further ado, today's title is, well, it's about staying active. And it's about the different groups right here in Lakeway that you can join to help stay active. Our first speaker is a very good friend of mine. It is Amy. Let's see if I can find her bio here. Amy Temperley. She has been an advocate for older adults for many years in the Austin area. Most recently, she sat on the commission for, now they changed the name, Aging. Yeah, so she she was actually the chair of that committee. She has a company called Aging is Cool. How many people love that name? I think it's the best name ever. When she formed this, she was doing, and I don't know if you're still doing this, she was doing camping trips for older adults. Are you going to do a camping trip this year? Okay, she'll probably give us some pros and cons of that. Aging is Cool provides recreational and wellness activities for older adults wherever they live or gather. Fitness, brain games, lifelong learning, crafts, memory care, programming for groups or in-home. So Amy's here to talk about Aging is Cool and also talk about how important it is to stay fit.
Thank you, Cindy. Can you hear me? think I may need to
Yes,
take you.
we'll trade. And then if you want to be at the podium.
Does it look better if I stand in the middle?
However you wanna do it, as long as you're in front of the screen.
Okay, I just noticed she was off to the side on.
I like to hide.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me, and thanks Cindy for inviting me to be here today. So I wanted to start a little bit talking about aging is cool. We get two reactions when we're out in the community. It's like the thumbs up or the thumbs down when we drive up, with our magnetic sign on the side of the car. But we truly believe aging is cool. And part of having a cool life as you grow older is staying active and engaged. And we find, and research shows, that there are really 5 key components to that. So I'm going to share those with you first before I tell you a little bit about what we do. So the first one is movement. It's staying physically active. And it doesn't mean you have to go to the gym and bench 300 pounds. It means move your body. It means take those extra steps. It means go the long way. My mother, who is on a walker, does her movement, but when her food's in the microwave, she walks up and down the counter line for 5 minutes while her food is in the microwave. And it makes a difference. It is a huge difference for her mobility, okay? So fitness and movement is the first one. The second one is your cognitive health. What are you doing to stimulate your brain cells? How are you continuing to learn, grow, do things differently? So that could be taking a class, that could be participating in brain games, it could be doing puzzles, it could be brushing your teeth with the opposite hand in the mornings, getting your brain challenged to do something different. Okay. The third one is having a sense of purpose and well-being and meaning in your life. Okay, so that could be spirituality. It could be gardening. It could be something that you get up for every day because it makes your heart feel good. It could be talking to a friend. It could be interacting with your dog. Okay, it could be a lot of different things. Or volunteering. Having a sense of meaning and purpose and a reason to get up. So key. The fourth one is laughter and humor and play. We need to continue to do this through our entire life, right? Have fun, giggle, find opportunities, find your favorite comedian and listen to their stuff over and over and over again, right? Find the joy in the pieces. And then the final one, and the one that Cindy really wanted me to hone in on, which is absolutely more important than anything I just said, is social interaction. Social isolation is one of the biggest health crises that particularly older adults have been facing. And we learned a lot about this during the pandemic, obviously. We see it now, and you'll see that a lot of governments and cities are starting to really understand. We're seeing what they call social prescribing, where your doctors are actually prescribing that you interact with people. But it is the most important thing that you can do. If you are social, your brain is working. If you are social, you are probably getting out and interacting with people, which means you're moving your body. If you're social, you're probably laughing, right? Do you see all the overlaps there? So if you do nothing else in your life, you've got to find a way to stay engaged with other people, okay? And it's okay, I'm a little bit of a loner myself. My husband and I rarely go anywhere, but we know that we have to put that into our lifestyle, and it has to be part of our plan for aging, is how we interact with our friends and each other in our family, okay? All right, so aging is cool. I'll tell you a couple of different things that we do. We started out as with a summer camp for seniors, which was amazing. We never made any money on it, so it was just impossible to keep going, but it was a lot of fun. But now we work to provide a full range of activities for older adults in various settings. So we go into senior living communities, which most of you probably are not. You're probably out in the community. But for people at home, we have 2 key things. The first is, along with our for-profit side of the company, we have a nonprofit arm, and we do free programming every week online. And so you can go to our website, agingiscool.com. There's a button at the very top that says free classes. These are live classes. We do 3 fitness classes, 1 stretching class, and 1 either brain games or lifelong learning class every week. These are live. You can interact with your instructor. You can interact with the other people in the room. Very, very welcoming groups. These are not cliquey kinds of groups where you're going to feel awkward. You're going to be welcomed and embraced the minute you show up. And these are completely free of charge. You're welcome to donate if you want to, but they're accessible to you. We always wanted to be able to do that. Recently, we have relaunched our in-home activity model. So we have over 100 activities that we can bring personally to you one-on-one in your home. So maybe you are a caregiver and you're caregiving for someone with dementia and you'd like them to have a little bit more interaction. Maybe you're just bored at home and you can't get out like you used to. Maybe you're wrapping up your physical therapy and it would be helpful to have someone just come in and do some movement with you on a regular basis afterwards. Because how many of you are guilty of not doing your therapy after your therapist leaves? And I see our therapist nodding her head, right? I've had so much physical therapy in my life, and the minute I'm done with therapy, I rarely do my exercises anymore, right? So we can do fitness, yoga, Tai Chi, brain games, lifelong learning, arts and crafts, music, memory care. We have over 100 different programs that we can do. You can find them all on our website. We come out, we do an initial consultation, meet the person, that the activities are for, figure out what the gaps are, what your needs are, and then we can provide those for you. And there's no contracts. If you want us to come once a month, if you want us to come every week, if you want us to come once a quarter, just for a kick, we are happy to do that for you. So that is Aging is Cool. We're just here to help you stay active and engaged in all the different ways that are available. I have 2 flyers back there. One is about the free programming and the other one is about the in-home programming. So just make sure you're grabbing the right one because they look almost the same. And we're gonna do quick questions?
Yes, any
Okay,
questions?
quick questions. Because I know there's lots of people. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a cost?
Yes, so the in-home classes do have a cost. Those are $100 a session. It's a flat rate of 100.
And online is there?
Free. Yeah, online classes are completely free of charge.
And how long are the in-home classes?
1
Like,
hour.
is it 1 hour,
Uh-huh.
is that too?
1 hour, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are you sponsored by the county or the city or?
No, we're a private company. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? All right.
Could you tell us your name again?
My name is Amy Temperley.
And she's got brochures back here on the table, as all of the different nonprofits
Her
have.
name is on here though. This one.
No, but it'll get right, that phone number gets right to me on the flyers. So yeah, you're welcome to reach out.
Do you know of any, emails or clubs, meetups or next door that has that where, with these older people, they want to make social connections, but if you're in this neighborhood or in this Lakeway or wherever, Bee Caves, is there anybody?
This lovely lady back here,
Talking to you.
she's gonna talk about that. Good. Wonderful. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have to leave. I apologize, but my materials are back there. Please do reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is going to be Morgan. She's gonna talk about 2 different groups. One is her job/passion and her other is her passion/passion. And she knows how to hold this microphone. For speakers, please watch Morgan. Our online clientele is saying to speak a little slower and speak right into the mic. So we want to make them happy.
I'm not good at speaking slowly. Y'all are gonna have to help me. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm going right after Amy because so many of the things she talked about happened right here at the library. Of course, we know we can have intellectual stimulation with our free, we have books. We have books. We have digital, ebooks right on your phone or your computer, or of course, physical books. But so many of the programs we offer fulfill what she was telling us we need. So I'm gonna ask you all, what are some programs we have at the library that tie to what Amy just said? Yes,
The crafts, the adult crafts.
adult crafts.
Once a month, yeah.
Once a month on a
Correct.
Thursday morning, and we do have calendars everywhere that will tell you the date for those adult crafts. Is it today? No, we also have a Lake Travis Knitters and Crochet group, so that's also creative. Next month, we have an art demonstration, so we have monthly things and then also special creative interactive things. What else do we have at the library that fulfills what Amy just talked about? I'm looking at Jerry. Jerry, you know some things. You're lazy this morning?
The tech help for me.
Tech help. Every Monday through Thursday, 12 until 2, drop in and get one-on-one tech help with a volunteer coach. Yes? Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. We have a number of exercise classes. We have a chair yoga every month. We have a sound bath meditation kind of yoga, really cool class once a month. Every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have a Power for Parkinson's class that's open to anyone right here. And it can be adjusted to your mobility level. And then periodical, we had a Qigong class. We have some exercise mobility classes. What else do we have? Yeah,
Take my mom and to y'all's music.
thank you.
Music.
Yes, a couple times a month, and every Friday in the summer at 3 o'clock Friday afternoon, we can get away with playing music in the library. So we just move some of those chairs right down at the end. It's opera this Friday, which it's usually well attended. We're super excited. We have lots of educational programs for mental stimulation. We have a foreign policy discussion series called Great Decisions. It's every other Thursday night, talking about climate change and China and AI and lots of really smart stuff that's sometimes over my head, but I bet y'all can handle it. Okay, what else do we have? What else do we have? Whoa, wrong. That's about the next thing. Here we go. We have, Amy mentioned how it might be helpful to have some programs from home. We started during the pandemic and still have some programs you can join from home. Every Wednesday morning at 10:30, a staff member leads a tech tutorial class. Every Friday at 2 o'clock, a really fun group of ladies, men are welcome to, have a book club at 2 o'clock. It's called BYOB. Bring your own book, and for an hour, we laugh and talk about what we've read that week. So if you do want to know about some options from home, we have that. All of our book clubs are hybrid, so you can join either in person or online. We have Mahjong Monday afternoons, and next month we're starting beginners Mahjong on Friday afternoons. Art classes, crafts, financial talks, chair yoga. Okay, some services we have. Anybody have ideas of some services we have?
Notary.
Notary, thank you. So we just have a new staff member we're gonna have 4 notaries at the library. So we can't guarantee there's always somebody here who could notarize, but usually it's worth calling ahead. It's free. And there's always somebody who can serve as a witness, a staff member or volunteer. An idea over here.
Took my notary.
Notary, thank you.
Free copying with it, most people donate.
Yes,
That's
yes,
a great
exactly.
service.
Free copying, scanning, faxing, computer use,
Donating books.
donating books. Who's been in our bookstore? It is so much fun. Our community is so generous, donating hundreds and hundreds every single week. So we sell them back to you and raise money to support the library. We also have volunteer opportunities. Everybody working in the bookstore is an awesome volunteer who's here at least once a week. Everybody shelving books, they are volunteers. We have volunteers in the butterfly garden, volunteers who work on the bookmobile, volunteers who process and mend books in the back. So we're very grateful and appreciative. 2 other things I want to mention about the library. We circulate hotspots and Chromebooks. If you're going on a trip and you need to have internet access, borrow our little device for free and it'll give you internet access wherever you go. We also have laptops. If you have a need to have a laptop, borrow a Chromebook from us. The last thing I want to mention is, I bet everybody here knows we have ebooks and downloadable audiobooks. We also have the Canopy streaming service. So I think most popular on Canopy, most of the BBC shows you can stream for free from the library. Independent movies, classic movies, the great courses, lots of things for kids, but it's a streaming service. If you need help getting started, come to a tech coach, Monday through Thursday, 12 until 2. Any other, I'm not done. Home delivery service. If you have a friend or a neighbor or a relative who can't leave their house due to a medical condition and they live in the Lake Travis ISD boundaries, we will deliver them a bag of books and movies and magazines once a month and come back the next month and swap them out. It can be hard for people who need that service to find out about it, so I'm giving everybody homework. Please help us spread the word about this home delivery service. I could talk about a million other things, but anybody have library questions? Yeah.
On your bookmobile, do you have a schedule that people can get to where it will be at what time?
We have an amazing, awesome bookmobile that I drive sometimes. Be careful out there. And it goes to 22 different stops in the Lake Travis ISD boundary. So it goes to preschools, assisted living facilities, neighborhood stops, food pantries and RV parks. And absolutely that schedule is on our website, laketravislibrary.org/bookmobile, I think. Because it's somewhere different every day. It's usually an every other week rhythm, but Briarcliff Community Center, we're there every single Friday morning. I also have to plug that, has anybody heard we're opening a second library?
Yeah.
It's so scary and exciting and so scary. We just finally started renovations last week. It's going to be on Highway 71 in between Sweetwater and West Cypress Hills by where the new high school is going. So like I've said a couple times, we're Lake Travis ISD boundaries. So we love being in Lakeway, but we need to serve our patrons out there too, which is why we have a bookmobile. Any other questions?
Do you still have Mango?
We do have Mango Languages. Mango Languages is a great online program or an app where you can learn another language. I think they have 73 different languages, and it will track your progress. Start with lesson 1 in Spanish. Next time you log on, lesson 2. It's really user-friendly, but if you need help, we'd love to help you. Library questions, library plugs. Did I forget to plug anything? Yeah.
Do you have to be a member to use any of this?
Everything is free.
Okay.
I think you have to be a member to borrow physical books, but anybody who lives in Texas or probably even not will give you a card, because we just like to have things
Is
out
there a
there.
cost to join the membership?
No, thank you. There's no cost to anything the library ever does. Right now, even printing is free if it's less than 25 pages. We are a special purpose district. So in 2004, voters said, yes, we want a library district, and we get a 1/4 sales tax from Lake Travis ISD boundaries. That's how we're funded, and that's how everything's free.
Okay, now she's gonna do a little turn. Now she's talking about.
I am a Rotarian. I'm a member of the Lakeway Lake Travis Rotary Club. I was aware of Rotary because I had family members, and it was just an organization I knew about, and then they donated $50,000 to support the library. And I'm like, hey, it's a good group I want to be involved in. So that's what got me going, and then I became president, and I'm super involved. I mean, it's a 1-year term, so I was president a few years back, not right now, but it is a service organization. That is their goal, an international service organization. I love knowing that there are 1.4 members around the world who also are trying to make the world a better place. I love what they stand behind, the big 7 things that Rotary organization as a whole. They want to promote peace, fight disease, provide clean water and sanitation, support mothers and kids, support education, grow local economies, and protect the environment. So I like all the big picture things, but then I also really like our local club. We are a group of about 50 people. We meet Thursdays at noon. And right now we're meeting at Saltgrass Steakhouse in Bee Cave. And the first Thursday of the month, we instead meet at night for a social. It's welcome to anybody to join. There's always a different speaker every week. Some of the things our local club supports is the library. They have given hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to Lake Travis High School students. And those kids are just amazing. I've gotten to serve on the scholarship committee and interview the kids, and it's really awesome. The local Rotary Club supports the Cavs Lounge and the Bucks Lounge. So the middle school and the high school students who maybe don't have a way to do their laundry, or they don't have lunch, or they just are having some needs that they need help with. There is a room in both schools stocked with food and supplies and tampons and all the things that you need that maybe you can't afford. So the Rotary Club supports that. The Rotary Club just purchased a van for a local organization called AIM. Has anyone heard of AIM?
No.
Adults Independent and Motivated. So it is adults who, I did not prepare to talk about this very well. Mentally challenged in some way, but definitely operational as adults. So this van will transport them to work and support them along the way. So the Rotary Club paid for the van. They've supported hearing aids in Mexico, adoption awareness, bikes. but it's also just a great group of people to spend time with once a week. Once a year, you might be asked to buy a car raffle ticket. Has anybody ever been asked to buy a car raffle ticket? Too many times, it's usually in the fall. It's been a Cadillac lately, so the club does a fundraiser one time a year, and then we just get to do the fun service. So that's Rotary Club too, if you've seen those car raffles out there.
And that raffle's super fun. I've almost won
Party.
10 times.
Someday you're gonna win. What questions do we have about Rotary?
Is there a charge to join?
There is a monthly fee. There is a charge to be a member, and there is a fundraising component. And I don't have those numbers on the tip of my tongue, but if you're interested, come to a Thursday meeting at lunch, Thursday at noon at Saltgrass, not the first Thursday of the month, but every other Thursday. Just meet people, see what it's like. It's free as a guest. to come to lunch. Okay, thanks for letting me talk about it.
Morgan. All right, our next person is Dan Moyer. He is with Lakeway Friends of the Park. Lakeway Friends of the Park is a registered 501c3 organization in Lakeway, originally incorporated in the late 90s. Since that time frame, the group has focused on projects to help improve and maintain Lakeway's parks, trails, and green spaces. The group has monthly work days and organized events throughout the year, guided hikes, special project days, wilderness run, etc. And they're always looking for new volunteers.
Yeah, I think I'm actually done now. She's pretty. It was a tough one to follow though. So yeah, I'm Dan from Lakewood Friends of the Parks. We were incorporated officially in 1996. I was recently archiving our data out of the Heritage Center out in Lakewood and found photos going back even earlier than that. So we've been around this area working actively for at least 30 years. So I think that makes us one of the longer running volunteer groups here in Lakewood. Our main purpose is to just improve and maintain Lakeway's parks and trails. We do a lot of work out at Lakeway City Park. You might have seen our volunteer groups during our volunteer work days. We also do a lot of work in Canyonlands and the Mount Lakeway area. I don't know how many people are even familiar that exists. There's other green belts, Hamilton green belt, Smith green belt. There's a lot of green spaces throughout Lakeway. And we do a lot of work on those to just improve the trails, keep everything in good working order. And we like to add capital projects to some of the parks that maybe the parks department's not gonna go do because maybe they're a little smaller. So we'll do a lot of like bridge work. We'll build bridges, we'll build elevated walkways and some of the areas that get wet. It's kind of crazy. Like even when it doesn't rain for years, there are parts of the trail that are almost permanently wet. And so we'll go in and fix those areas up. But that's our volunteer work days. And those are once a month. They're the second Saturday of the month. And we meet at City Park Pavilion, and we only work September through May. What that means is we don't work June, July, and August, I think for obvious reasons. And what we do is we'll break into 3 or 4 different groups on our work days and work in the different green belts and parks in Lakeway. And the thing that we try and do is have activities for everybody, different athletic levels and skill levels and physical levels. So we'll have people that we have garden beds that we maintain. There's like 3 garden beds, I think, in Lakeway City Park, 2 in Hamilton Greenbelt, 1 in Canyonlands. So we have a lot of like gardening activities. A lot of people like that. We want to have everything up to chainsawing large amounts of trees. So if people want to come out and juggle chainsaws, we often offer that. But we try and make sure that everybody has something that they can do in our group. And at the end of our work days, we work from about 8 to 11:30 a.m. At the end of our work days, we always have a big communal lunch at the City Park Pavilion in Lakeway. And that's actually like my favorite part. We all get to sit around and hang out and talk and catch up. And so we have a group of folks that actually cook for that. It's mostly our volunteers that have kind of said, I'm done with chainsaws, I'm done with rakes. And so they like to cook. And so we're always looking for volunteer cooks. That gives us something else to do. And let me think what else. Yeah, historically, we've also do other activities. We'll do nature hikes. We'll bring in speakers that will talk about things. We've had people that come and talk about birding, the Falcones Canyon Preserves. Our last speaker talked about wildfire mitigation from the Lake Travis Fire and Rescue. So we'll bring in speakers periodically to talk to the group. And we'll do guided hikes. Our last guided hike, we went over to the Falcones Canyon Preserves. A lot of people don't know, but like if you're over at Target and Home Depot and BK, there's that road that goes straight out of the parking lot that kind of dead ends where they're putting that new bank. Like, we took a group and did a guided hike, and it's a gorgeous piece of land back there in the Buckhorn State Preserves. And about the only time you're ever gonna get to go over there is if you put together an organized hike, because it's not open to public. So we get to do fun things like that. It's like kind of unique. But yeah, that's most of our group. And the one thing I want to plug is next weekend, we have our Wilderness Run, which is a 5K. It's a run walk. I'm gonna be walking it. I don't run anymore. But it's a 5K walk and run. And then we're also gonna have a 1 mile event for the kids. And it's gonna be at the Hamilton Greenbelt. And it's gonna be kind of starting over by where the new sculpture garden is by the old Justice Center. And it's a really fun event. It's completely free to the community. It's our only fundraiser for the year. And we make our money from the sponsors, not from the community. The community gets, everything's free. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend you come out. I also highly recommend you come out for a volunteer work day, because we need volunteers always. There's always so much work to do in our parks. Even our parks department does a fantastic job. We're very fortunate. And that's really about it for our group. The one other thing I would like to raise awareness of, as we are a parks group, is at the May election, there's going to be a $22 million bond to improve Lakeway's parks. We're not going to endorse anything. We're just going to say the information's online. Go look it up. You'll see what the bond offers, what they're planning project wise. And it'll also tell you kind of what the cost is, because it will be technically a tax increase. So we have a link to this on our website, which has all sorts of information. So go to lakewayfop.org and you'll find all sorts of information about our group. And there will be a link there it's already there, because I know I put it there, to that bond information. So just read up on it and be educated, know what you're getting into one way or another. And that's it.
All right, any questions?
I have a question about, I wish there was more education in this area about using native plants and keeping what we have and not, I don't know, I guess because I'm a native Texan, I feel very strongly about that. Because we have people moving in from everywhere now, and a lot of people bring in different ideas about how to do things, and that's okay. Some of them are good, but some of them I feel like maybe are not so good. Is there I've heard our forester talk from the Parks Department. I wish there was more education and more programming on that. More talking maybe at the library or just everywhere, about how you do things and use your native grasses and don't, things like that. It's really a pet peeve of mine. I'd like to see more natives used and protected.
Like from my personal perspective, this is not necessarily something from Friends of the Park, as I fully agree with you. Both my parents are Native Plant Society of Texas members, and they're master gardeners and all that stuff. So I'm like very much into that. We only use natural plants. Just this last year, we established a new garden at Hamilton Greenbelt through a Native Plant Society of Texas grant. And every last plant that we were only allowed to use native plants for that. And I fully agree. We do, like I said, have speakers that come out every once in a while to a work day, but mostly at our annual meeting. And that's something I would definitely keep in mind, is maybe we can find someone that's a NIPSOT member that could come and give that speech. It's just every year it's just a little different, and that's kind of nice, but I fully agree. I don't know what the method is for that. There's also the Lakeway Garden Club, but maybe they can work on their marketing to get some of that information out into the public either there.
There's also, the Lakeway Mud. So I think twice a year they have an open house, and they've had talks there on native.
All right.
I didn't catch your name and role with the organization.
Yeah, I'm Dan Moyer. I'm currently the co-chair. I'm the former chair for Lakeway Friends of the Parks. And by trade, I'm a software engineer. I work in video conferencing. So
Oh, boy. How'd we do? Pretty good on the video?
I thought you did great.
Okay. We do have handouts, here on the back table regarding the parks.
Just a quick one, what time does the Wilderness Run start?
We're gonna have the registration open at 8:30 a.m. with the actual 5K starting at 9 a.m. And then we're gonna do the 1 miler for the kids just as soon as the 5K people clear out. So like 5 to 10 minutes after that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're gonna have Renee come up. Renee is with the Women's Club of Lakeway, and WCGL welcomes women residents of Lakeway, the Hills, and Lakeway ETJ. The objective of the organization is to promote the social, cultural, and intellectual growth of its members. The nonprofit club officially began in the fall of 1985, and the general meetings brunches are usually held on the fourth Wednesday of each month, September through May. However, we do not meet in December. They have wonderful speakers at each general meeting who speak about a variety of interesting topics, and we also have a special event during the year, beginning with a fashion show in October, which is held at the Sonesta. WCGL offers every member the opportunity to join over 20 special interest groups, 6 of her choice. From book clubs to hike and bike to garden club or dinner club, there's something for everyone to join and enrich your life. If you're looking for a wonderful way to have fun, make new friends, and explore our community, I would like to invite you to join the Women's Club of Lakeway. Membership is $50 annually, and you can explore their website at lakewaywomensclub.com and contact their membership chair, Sarah. So sorry. We would love for you to have an adventure with us and to make it your best year. Renee has lived in Lakeway the past 6 years and has been a member of Lakeway Women's Club for 5. She served as membership chair for 2 years, then was appointed to the community liaison position in 2023. Without further ado, Renee.
All right, thank you so much, Cindy. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
No,
Actually, here, try this one.
Yeah.
Put it right at you.
All right, is that better? Yeah, okay, great. Well, Cindy kind of read a lot of the things I was gonna say. So I will just reiterate, with the Lakeway Women's Club, in addition to our monthly meetings, a lot of people feel the best part of joining is we have 20 special interest groups. So we have everything from like bridge group to the garden club, dinner groups, lunch out groups, hike and bike, mahjong, bridge, just all kinds of different interest groups. So we do have members that never go to the monthly meetings. They just join because they want to be in a certain book club or they want people to play bridge with or whatever. So you're not committed to go to the monthly groups, but we do have 400 total members, and we usually have about 100 members at our luncheons. But the smaller subgroups have anywhere from 15 to 75 people in them. But you don't have to go to everything that, every event that your group hosts. But it's a great way to meet other women in the area and just to have fun. What else can I tell you? Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Is there a cost?
Yes, it's $50 a year to join, which covers a lot of the overhead. And then the monthly, we've just recently got to where we do most of our meetings are now brunches because it's $30. The lunches were going up to $45 each, and we usually meet either at Flint Rock or the Hills Club. Sometimes it rotates back and forth, but anyway, the group was organized in 1985, so we've been around quite a while. And like I said, it's a great way just to meet other people and be active. And I do have, as Cindy mentioned, a flyer on the back table if you want more information and the contact information for our membership chair, Sarah Scarberry. Yes.
Do you have to live in Lakeway?
Yes, you have to either, Lakeway has what's called an ETJ, an extraterritorial jurisdiction. And, over the years, they've annexed, like Sweetwater is now part of Lakeway. But there's a lot of misconception. A lot of Bee Cave is on right off of 620 by the high school. So people that live in Alta Vista across from the high school are Lakeway, but everyone further down and in Falcon Head, that's all Bee Cave. So Bee Cave has their own women's club. Dripping Springs has their own women's club, but you can't live in Hudson Bend or whatever. You do have to live in the jurisdiction of Lakeway. And if you have a question as to whether you qualify or not, Sarah has a map and can tell you.
Is it a national organization and you're just one city or?
No, this is just Lakeway.
Okay.
Yeah, no national component. Any other? Yes.
So you said, I think the brunches are like September to May,
Right.
and then the specialty groups, do they run over the summer?
Some of them do, like if they're hike and bike or something, you know, people like to get out every month, but then others just take a break. So it depends on the group. Some of the mahjong and bridge clubs will continue during the summer, but of course you're not obligated to, a lot of people are away for the summers in a cooler climate.
Is there an age? Is it any age?
In any age, I would say most of our members are like 50 to 70, that sort of thing. We welcome anybody, but we don't, there's some other groups in Lakeway that cater more to the 30 and 40-year-old age bracket, but there is no age requirement. Restriction. Yes.
What is your most attended specialty group?
The garden club has the most members, and I find that really interesting, but so many people have an interest in garden. And then I also think too, the people that lead the group are a little more creative than some of the other groups, so they go to a lot of venues all around Austin and learn about plants, and then they have a big social component as well. So they have, I think, over 100 members. And hike and bike is really popular too. I think they have about 50. And then a lot of the out to lunch, out to dinner groups are really popular as well.
I would think that the groups kind of form based on what the members want to do. So do you see new groups kind of start? And then
Yes,
go
yes.
away? And-
If you are like are an avid knitter or crafts or whatever, and you want to start your own group because there isn't one, you can do that. You have to officially go through the proper channels for approval within Women's Club. But we do have people that start their own group.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. Okay, so our next one is Lakeway Hills Solo, Jerry Wright. So the Lakeway Hills Solo is a social club for single women and men age 55 plus who live in Lakeway, the hills and surrounding areas. It started in the 1990s as an instrument to gather single 55 plus women and men to make friends through social activities such as dining out, playing games, plays, etc. The average age of our members is 70. While most members are widows, single and divorced men and women are also offered special memberships. But they also offer special memberships with spouses in long-term care facilities. This entitles members to all the benefits except serving on the executive committee. They have a monthly calendar for activities, including dining out, trips, games, community endeavors, and support. The gatherings introduce new members to other members with similar interests and background. They currently have 87 plus members strong, and their annual membership is $25. Plus members must also join the Lakeway Activity Center with an annual membership of $30 and $80 for those living outside the city. Most of their activities take place at the Lakeway Activity Center. They enjoy bridge, dominoes, mahjong, dining out, plays, and all member socials. You can attend an activity as our guest. For more information or membership application, contact y'all.
No,
Yeah.
Jerry Wright back there.
And I believe you have some brochures on this back table. Okay, I'm gonna have you come over this way. Okay. Are you gonna come up too? I will. Yeah. So here's the mic and it's on green. Just put it up.
Okay, it takes two redheads to explain solos. What can I tell you?
I'm gonna get another green for you.
I came here about 18 years ago, like most of you, I would guess, because my daughter lived here. And most of our members have come here for the same reason. We've come to be with our families, our grandchildren, and we've enjoyed life here. But many of us didn't know anybody besides our family.
Really close.
Get really close, okay.
Yes.
Most of us, okay. I've got hearing aids too, so that qualifies me. But, most of us came here because of our families and our grandchildren. And we didn't maybe know anybody else in this area, but we certainly had our families. But there is more to life than just our families. I came here about 19 years ago, not knowing my husband had Alzheimer's. And as time went on, it became more and more apparent. I took advantage of the support groups at church, etc. But it can be a very lonely life. He finally passed away in 2013. And the one person I knew in Lakeway had two neighbors who belonged to Solos. And they said, come on, Marilyn, you're not dead and you're interested in life and you want to grow and you want to go. There's wonderful people in this community. And boy, is there fascinating stories, fascinating lives. We're very close to one another. We don't have any snob people, if you're worried about that. Everybody gets along regardless of political party, religious, whatever. We are people who care about life, who want to learn and care about others. And we've already heard there's plenty of research. There's actually been at least 100 different researchers over the years that proves that socialization is very important for mental health, physical health. A couple of years ago, we made a rule that we don't give birthday parties to members until they turn 100. And we had them in line. And I think, why are people living so long in Lakeway? And I think Solos, at least for our members, was certainly one of the reasons. When you need friends, you'll have them. You know, you might have heard about some of those homes in the hills that were hit by lightning and burned down. Mine was one of them. I walked out with just the clothes on my back and the dog and my purse, without my family and my friends and without Solos. I'm not sure what my life would have looked like. And they came without being asked. They wrapped their arms around me. They had helped me move. I lived in Oak Hill with my stepdaughter for a while. I had so many people call me up and say, come live with me, come live with me. And that's the kind of group we have. And we have a lot of fun and we certainly do laugh. So Lisa, it's going to talk a little bit about our activities. This is Lisa Dover. I'm Marilyn Galloway, live in the hills. And Lisa?
I live in Sweetwater, so someone had asked about whether members could be for the Ladies of Lakeway group. We're very similar. I tend to be loud, so I think I don't need this, but I'll try to remember to talk into the microphone. Today, we have our vice president, Jean Kern, here. We also have our membership person, Jerry Wright at the back, and Susan Beck has been our communications chairperson in the past. So yes, we are about having a good time. SOLO stands for sharing our love of socializing. Okay, we don't consider ourselves alone because we have this extended family. And I have to tell you my story. So I was approached by my daughter-in-law who lives here in Lakeway, because yes, like everyone else, I moved out here for my grandkids. I'm a semi-retired nurse, a Navy veteran, and I came out here to be near my grandkids. And my daughter-in-law said, there's a ladies group you ought to join, or at least look into it. Well, I did. And the first time I went to a lunch with them, by the end of the lunch, somebody was approaching me saying, you need to be our social director. So that's what I do now. Right now, I'm their social committee director. And we have a lot of events, things that are fun to do throughout the year, much like the Lakeway Ladies Group. Our age requirement is 55 and above. And what can I tell you? We do so much. Nobody's bored in this group. We have dominoes, we have it all listed up here. We have bridge. All these occur at the Lakeway Activity Center. And we have mahjong, we have bridge, like I said, bingo. We also have a gentleman that plays poker once in a while. He doesn't come every time, but we are open to men and women. And if you would like membership information, be sure and go to the back table by Jerry and just sign your name and we'll get the information out to you. We do a newsletter. In the newsletter, it'll list out the type of events coming up and some of the things we've done in the past. We have a couple events coming up that I'd like to invite you to as a guest, because I think you should try us out first and see how much fun we are. If you need a ride, we also provide rides to our members for local events. And like if you have a doctor's appointment you can't get to, Jerry actually does that as well, so.
Only in this room.
In this area, yeah, we're not gonna take you to Las Vegas. Although that might be fun. But speaking of that, we do have trips as well. We can talk all day about this and I'll have to wind it up because they're looking at me like, stop. But I do want to tell you that we go out to dinner. We go to a monthly luncheon, a monthly dinner, and we do trips in and around Austin, extra events. And our next dinner is on the 25th of April at On Grill Mexican Restaurant. We meet at the Lakeway Activity Center and we carpool, or if you need a ride, we'll come and get you. Then after that, we have an event where we are having a dessert party. If anybody likes sweet things, I think you'll enjoy that. That's going to be on the 2nd of March from 1:30 to 3.
May.
I'm sorry, March is gone. May, yes, thank you. Yeah, we'd like to do things in arrears as well. On May 2nd, and it's going to be at the Lakeway Independent Living Facility up on the hill by the
Thrift shop.
The thrift shop, that's what everyone knows. We're
Yeah.
close to the thrift shop. Most of our events are held at the Lakeway Activity Center, but we do 3 big events every year that I'm in charge of. And we have a Christmas dinner, and then we usually have a fall social that includes our membership drive where we bring all the new members in, introduce them to things they might not have known that we were doing. And then we have our Spring Fling, which is what we're having in May, and it's going to be a free dessert party. So if you'd like further information about solos, be sure and visit back here. I would like to thank the library and all the speakers because thank you for having us. And I really learned so much already here. It's been fascinating.
Great.
Thank you.
I'd like to just add one thing. Last year, we've done some trips. A lot of groups don't go out and about. We go out every month. But last year we went to New Orleans. And we went with Rhodes Scholar because Rhodes Scholar is a first-class organization. I would have no qualms about anybody going with us. We went, Susan and I, some of the others, there were 10 of us that went from solos. We had so much fun that our guide, he would call home every night and tell his wife what happened that day, and he would be talking about the solos. So finally she says to him, well, if I divorce you, can I join the solo?
And I will tell you, New Orleans will never be the same.
Thank you. We're gonna go a little bit out of order. Thank you. Dan, or Fred, if you'll come up. Fred Lockwood and his wife are the current co-presidents of the Lakeway Dance Club. Did you know there was a dance club? It is thought that this club was part of the original Lakeway Yacht Club decades ago and eventually evolved into a separate club. So he's here today to talk about it.
All right, thank you, Cindy. To say my name is Fred Lockwood. My wife and I are the co-presidents of the Lakeway Dance Club. And as stated in their introduction, the club's been around for a long time. My wife and I have been involved in the club for about a dozen years. And the club is governed by a volunteer group, board of directors. And we have a number of committees that work very hard to make the club a success and fun for everyone. The club currently hosts 5 dances a year. We have a dance in October and November. And then we skip December and we have dances in January, February, and March. That is our yearly dance cycle. So we just had our last dance of this cycle in March, a couple of weeks ago. The dances are held typically the 3rd Thursday of every month at the Lakeway Activity Center. And I want to emphasize that this is a dance club. We do not offer dance lessons. So, each dance has a live band and is BYOB. We do offer cups and ice and water. The typical schedule for each dance, they last from 6 to 9. We start at 6, from 6 to 6:30, we have a social hour. From 6:30 to 7, we have a catered meal. The meal is optional for members. If you want to partake in a meal, you pay for the meal each dance. The cost of the meal is, whatever the caterer charges. Typically, it's around $20 plus or minus. From 6:30 to 7, we have the meal. The band generally plays music during that time, a little softer, hopefully, so that you can engage in conversation. Then the band cranks up the volume around 7. We dance from 7 to 8. At 8, we serve dessert, and then the band takes a short break, and then the band continues to play until 9. Bands are generally selected that cover a variety of different music genres. However, we live in Texas, and on our budget, the bands are predominantly country-based. But the different dance styles that you'll see on the dance floor are two-step, waltzes, polka, jitterbug, swing. We always have the band play a few line dances. My opinion is that real men don't do line dances, so it's typically for the women. All we ask of the board members, of the dance members is that they timely pay their dues. They RSVP in time for each dance, to bring one homemade dessert for each dance cycle. It's not each dance, it's for one dance within the cycle. And that's how we get our desserts. And also, the main goal of the dance club is to have fun. If you're interested in joining the dance club, we should have our applications available probably about the middle of next month. Again, our first dance will be in October of this year. And we do have a website. It's LakewayDanceClub.org. Or you can just do a web search for the Lakeway Dance Club, and the website should pop up. If you're interested in being notified by email when the applications are available, there's a contact tab on the website that you go to, and it's got an email address, and you can send in your contact information, email address, and so forth. I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of you. Oh, there's one other thing I might add. The majority of our membership is typically couples. We just do not have too many singles in the dance club right now. That is certainly open to change, but I just wanted to let you know that. If you're coming expecting to find a dance partner, it might be a little bit challenging. I'll be happy. Well, we have a lot of jealous wives and husbands. Anyway, I'll be happy to take any questions you might have. I will say the cost, the dues last year were $70 for the year. That's $14 per person per dance. We haven't had our board meeting before the applications go out. There has been a little thing called inflation that's happened this year, and we have to pay bands. We have to pay to use the activity center and some supplies. So we haven't set the dues for next year, but if they go up, they shouldn't go up very much. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Ed, did you need to go? Did you want to come up? Did you want to come now? Ed, did you want to come now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We had some conflicts, so we're just trying to get these speakers out the door, doctor's appointments and, life and all that kind of stuff. So this is Ed Herman. He's the president of the Lakeway Newcomers and New Neighbors, LNN. And he's lived in Lakeway for 8 years, and he's been a member of the LNN since arriving. Prior to arriving in Lakeway, he lived in Carlsbad, California, and Houston, Texas. Lakeway's Newcomers has recently changed its name and its mission. For decades, Lakeway Newcomers has been a local social club whose membership was focused on assisting new arrivals in acclimating to the Lakeway area. Starting in 2024, their group is now open to all residents regardless of length of residency. Their new name, Lakeway Newcomers and Neighbors, LNN, better reflects their desire to attract all residents of the city of Lakeway, the Village of the Hills, and Lakeway ETJ. LNN schedules and hosts various social events throughout the year, culminating in the end of the year gala, which is currently scheduled for December 12th. We are currently looking to attract new members. If you want to join the fun or know more, you can visit at lakewaynewcomers.com. And without further ado,
Thank you. I'm wondering where you got all that information.
You sent it.
Did I send it? to you?
We asked for bios and descriptions.
Well, you know, it pretty much summarizes everything.
Put it a little bit closer.
So look, I prepared something. It's back there on the table if you want to take a look at it. I also brought along some cards. So if you want one of those, and we have a QR code and take you right to the website. So, yeah, our tagline is want to have more fun. And we have an organization of about 215 members currently. As she mentioned, we recently extended opened our membership to previously existing residents. So, you know, it used to be you had to be here within the first 3 years, and it doesn't matter anymore. All you have to do is live in Lakeway, the Hills, or the ETJ, and you're eligible to join. Some of the things that we do, and you find that on the back of this. Make sure I get them all. We have monthly social events, pretty much monthly. And for example, 2 weeks ago, we went to the Parker Jazz Club downtown, a group of 25 people. This month, we're going to Foodies. We also have a wine appreciation get together this month. And we have other events, separate groups. We have a men's night out, a gin and rummy group, a cinema group where we talk about different movies, brews and booze. I mentioned wine appreciation. We have a dining out that runs about 9 months out of the year. Our members get together. We group people together in groups of 8, and then they go out and have dinner together. A golf scramble, and then at the end of it all, we have the end of the year, we have our gala. And our gala is gonna be at the Sonesta Hotel on June 12th, or on December 12th this year. So, as she mentioned in my bio, yeah, came here in 2016. My wife is a very social person. And next year I had a birthday party and I had 60 people at my party. So, you know, there are not too many other places outside of Lakeway where something like that can happen. And I think Newcomers is one of these social organizations that adds a lot of value to our community.
Well said.
Are there any questions, Brian? Yes, ma'am.
Is there a cost?
Yes, there is. It's $30 a year right now. Just between you and me, I think that'll go to 35 next year. Yeah, same thing as Brett mentioned, things get more expensive. Yeah, Madge, yes, ma'am.
Can you attend a meeting as a guest to see if it might be a good fit for you? Can you all do that?
We don't have meetings per se, we have social outings. If you want to contact me, maybe we can arrange something, but that's not normally done. Anything else? That's it. Start the clapping.
I'm kind of fighting with this microphone. And
Let me swipe that one. Get together. Let me get this going.
Okay, great. And there are flyers back there regarding this, so please pick those up. So that's Lakeway newcomers and neighbors. Thanks for letting us go a little out of order there. Next we have ladies bridge group. So we've got Liz. So Liz, come on up. Do you love to play bridge? Come join us at the Lakeway Activity Center Tuesday and or Thursday morning, 9:30 to 12:30, where they play 3-hand rounds of rubber bridge, switching partners between rounds. As you can see, they have a blast playing good bridge and chatting about all sorts of things. And then we've got some numbers that you can call. Did you bring a handout that's in the back?
In the back.
Excellent. I'm gonna have you come this way. Do you want to stand right here?
Yes, I think that would be nice.
Yes. And then just put that right up to your mouth.
Hi, I don't know what you did yesterday, but I took my 3 granddaughters out of school. We played hooky. And we went to Burnett and we saw the awesome total eclipse. It was just one best field trip ever. And that might be a conversation you'd see at this bridge group. We have a lot of fun talking, but we also play bridge. And as the handout said, we play rubber bridge. When you first come in, you sit down. It doesn't matter who you start with, but we typically have 3 tables of bridge. And you have to call ahead of time to see if we have space for you to play. But so we sit down, we each put $1 in the pot. And so we play 6 rounds, 6 hands in 1 round. Then we switch partners, play 6 rounds again, and then switch partners again. So we play 18 hands of bridge. Who plays? Well, some of us have played bridge all our lives. Some of us played bridge in college, stopped playing for many, many years, and then have come back to it. And some are people who learned bridge much later in their lives. But we just have a wonderful time. Oh, and yes, if you win, you got to take home a few of those dollars. We split up the pot each week. And the other thing is you have to be a member of the Lakeway Activity Center. But we have a wonderful time. Any questions?
So do you take absolute beginners?
Excuse me?
You take absolute beginners?
You have to know how to play.
Okay, basic.
Yeah. It's not a teaching group, no. You have to know how to play bridge.
It's serious.
The LAC has somebody that teaches bridge, don't they? They have
The Activity Center, yes, does have someone who's teaching bridge, yes.
Who teaches the bridge?
Huh?
I don't know.
Yes.
They contact the activity
Okay.
center.
So there are bridge classes
Somebody
at the
that teaches
activity center, and once you know how to play, you
Yeah,
can
you
come play
have
in
to be
your
a
group.
member.
I did it when I
Awesome.
was.
Thank you so much.
Training.
Well, I've gotten all out of order, so sorry about that. I'm going back to my pages here. Let's see. Ladies of the Lake Quilting Bee, Susan. Ladies of the Lake Quilting Bee was formed in Lakeway in 1997. They meet at the Activity Center every Wednesday from 9:15 to 12:15. Activities encompass various quilting related projects that also include knitting, cross stitch, crocheting, to name a few. Individuals of all skill levels work on their own projects, quilt and sew for many charities, and encourage beginners in the art. Susan McCann is the beekeeper and has been a member for 8 years. So here's Susan.
Hello, I'm Susan McCann and I'm the beekeeper. I just became a beekeeper. Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so we are a member of about 42 women. We meet every Wednesday at the Lakeway Activity Center. We don't teach quilting and we don't teach sewing, so you do have to know how to, sew and quilt or either one. And some of our ladies have kind of, I won't say outgrown, but like out-aged, maybe quilting, and then they just, they might bring handwork or something like that, but it's a wonderful group of ladies, and we really do have a nice time. Sometimes we'll take a field trip, but not very often, or we get together. We do a lot of community quilts for Community First. We do a lot of work for them where we provide quilts for the residents out there, and that's a good thing. And some of our other activities, we make bowls. Over here is we're getting ready to do a project where we make little postcards And they'll be sold at the quilt show, and I think that's in September. And I brought, just so y'all can kind of see, because some people have never seen the beginnings of a quilt. Anyway, this is the beginnings here of a quilt. And which is, you know, it will turn into something, and here's another one. And you can imagine I'll make like 30 of these blocks and then sew them all together. Anyway, we have a great group of ladies. And you know, if you're interested and you know how to sew or to quilt, you know, you can call me. We don't have cards. We're just a group of ladies, and we just, you know, really enjoy each other's company. And on any given Wednesday from 9:15 to 12:15, there's like 30 ladies that are there at the Lakeway Activity Center.
Is there any charge?
No, there's no charge. You just have to be a member of the center.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so whatever.
Well, those are beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Lakeway Painters. So Lakeway Painters Group was started in 2002 and has continued to be a gathering of people interested in creating artwork each Wednesday. We have artists just getting started and some who are seasoned artists learning from each other to get to know each other. Some use pastel, watercolor, acrylic paint, and mixed media, collage, color pencils, and pen and ink. Their doors are open. Here you go, Anna.
Hello, good morning or afternoon. I wanted to thank everybody for presenting. It's been very educational, and it's fantastic that there's so many opportunities for everybody in this community. So if you are not a member of the Lakeway Activity Center, go out and join. It's not very much to join. We joined when we moved here, and we are the ones guilty of bringing our mom with us. So, mom lives with us, and so, we went ahead and we've been painting all our lives. We didn't know that there was this really great painting group, but it was started in 2002, and we met some lovely people. We meet every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. We didn't know it was 9 o'clock. Mom and I were thinking, oh, it's 9:30, we got plenty of time. So it's from 9 o'clock to 11:30, and then I don't know if you've heard of Cafe Lago. We go and have a little bit of lunch afterwards, so it's nice. There are all kinds of ages. There is no requirement. There's all kinds of levels. There is no requirement. If you want to do pastel, if you want to do watercolor or acrylic, there's even an amazing lady that's doing kind of like a glamour diamond kind of painting. I've never seen this before, but she glues diamonds onto like little bedazzles. You'll see this stuff over at Cafe Lago, because that's another thing that we do. We do installations, gallery shows. So you can go and have a nice meal at Cafe Lago and look at some of the paintings by our artists. We have once a year, we have a cool art show at the Activity Center. And you'll see all the different crafts as well as the painters, artwork. And we also have fun events as well. So over there at the table, you're going to see cute little art cards. We did little baby samples of our artwork by the artists. Those are something that we do if we want to participate. We did that for Valentine's Day, so we kind of make our own cards. And then we've done an event for Christmas. We have our social where we're having some nice treats, and then we paint together. So it's a fun group. We're getting ready to do some more field trips. They kind of took a break for a couple of years, but we're anxious to do some plein air painting. We've also been invited to each other's homes, which is nice, so we get to socialize. So I wanted to give you a couple of samples. My mother is Adriana Pena. She's a well-established artist. She has toured, she has shown and sold her paintings. She's done commissioned artwork. Not every artist does commissioned artwork. Some people just paint for fun, and they're at all levels. So this is an acrylic landscape. So as you can see, she's a very skilled artist. And then we also have some acrylic people, some people that are doing abstract. This is my creation. It's acrylic on canvas,
And I did a combination of imagination and artwork, photos of flowers that I saw. And I'm a fan of texture, so I would love to really get in there and make like rusty stuff happen. So I'm a fan of rust. So anyway, I went ahead and brought a couple of samples, but for you guys, if you're not into technology, you can just grab one of these papers. It has phone numbers and email, and just call us or email us if you want to come by. You're anytime at all welcome to stop by, but if you just want to ask questions, there's a little flyer there. There's business cards for Adriana Pena and also for Ana Tila. Did I even say my name? I'm Ana Tila. Oh my gosh. So I'm Ana Tila. I'm an artist. I'm also an agent, but more than anything, I love to work with people at all ages. So we would love to see you there. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. That's beautiful. It'll be fun to learn about all different kinds of mediums to use, pastels, paint, all that kind of stuff. Super cool. Okay, I think I'm down to the last person. Has everybody spoken except for the Lions Club? Yes? Okay, so I know I went out of order, but Lions Club, if you'll come up. So the Lions are an international network of 1.36 million men and women in 208 countries and geographic areas whose work together to answer the needs that challenge communities around the world. Known for working to end preventable blindness, Lions participate in a variety of projects important to their communities. The Austin Lake Travis Lions Club projects range from providing meals to those unable to prepare meals for themselves, to providing food to the impoverished children in the Lake Travis area. Beginning in 1917, the Association of Lions Club has provided millions of people with the opportunity to give something back to their community. And this is Cheryl.
Hi dear, thank you so much. Well, I'm really excited to be here to explain more about the Lions Club because many of you guys may know us as just someone that we do the recycling of the eyeglasses, but really there's much more than what we do. And before we dive into all the fun activities and events that we do, what I wanted to do first is share some empirical data of the science of love and health and how that can positively affect you. So the first fact is giving is more powerful than receiving in its ability to reduce mortality. Fact number 2 is giving to others helps us forgive ourselves for our own mistakes, which is key to a sense of well-being. And number 3, helping friends, relatives, and neighbors, along with providing emotional support to a spouse, reduces mortality, although receiving the same kind of help does not. So I thought that was really interesting. And basically, it's what we all kind of have heard in the past. It's much better to give than to receive, and it's been scientifically proven. Now the Lions Club. Our motto is we serve. And for us, what that means is selfless service to others in need in our local communities. And since each Lions Club knows the needs of their community the best, we are the ones that not only do we do the recycling, which most of y'all know us for, we can choose other outreach programs that fit our community the best. And also, the discussion of politics and religion is forbidden. So it's just a safe place for us to be in, where you can just have fun, do outreach programs, and get that benefit of mortality and well-being. Okay, and now I wanted to go over some of our activities. And one of them, Linda, come stand up here. Because one of them is really dear to Linda's heart. And this is one that maybe a lot of you guys know about us, is our mobile meals. Linda started mobile meals 10 years ago because Meals on Wheels would not come out to the Lake Travis area. So Linda, would you like to explain a little bit about Noble Meals?
Yes, we actually had a lot of work we did with Williamson County. And they did do work, just like any other Meals on Wheels. But we had to be different and we became, mobile meals instead. And so we've been doing that now for over 10 years. And it started off, I guess one of the main things it is it works up to a maximum of 20 meals every day that we serve. And some of you have knowledge of that. You've got neighbors that, they worked hard for us. And we need more help. That's just the way it is right now. And we made it through COVID, thank God. And so I just wanted you to know we have more work to be done. And if you have some helping hands in your home or business or work or whatever, great.
And the help she's referring to, we need people that deliver the meals to our recipients because we're providing restaurant quality meals. Flint Rock Falls is one of our providers. Rough Hollow is one of our providers. Chick-fil-A.
Cafe Blue.
Yeah. So we have just a whole bunch of wonderful meals that we're providing for them. Okay, and then, like I mentioned, the iRecycling, and you probably have seen these boxes in some of the stores. We also do vision screening at the Lake Travis Independent School District. We do this at the elementary schools. And here is where we'll find some of the children. They might be sitting in the front rows or the back rows because they can't see. And we detect when they have some vision problems, sometimes for the first time. And something new that we're doing is the blessing bags. And I brought a sample of a blessing bag. Here, even in our own community, within a 3 or 5 mile radius, there are children that have food insecurities. And we're focusing on the kiddos that live in the trailer parks off of Hudson Bend Road. And so we put together these blessing bags. And what's in them, there's hygiene items, there's snacks and food, sort of some of the items I have in the back, the water, the breakfast bars, maybe a little candy, some fruit. And then we write a note to them. And let me read it just real quick. Here's a blessing bag for you. You may be down on your luck right now, but let this bag remind you that you are worth so much, that there are people who care about you, that there is hope, that you are beautiful, and I will be thinking about you. Have a lovely day. Peace and love, Cheryl. So, we have the children write those, and that was the one I came up with. The children ones, I should have saved one of those because they really know how to speak from their heart. So we have the children make these for other children. And let me see, we also have a Leo's Club, which is our youth program. And oh my gosh, they are on fire. They were actually on the webpage of the Lake Travis Crisis Center because they had done gathered a whole bunch of food and toiletry items. So that was something we're really proud of. Also, we have a Texas Lions Club camp where we have a work day. And Linda, what children are we servicing on the camp?
At the birthday?
Yeah, it's like they're handicapped.
Yes.
Okay. So this is something that we do, and we also, each year, we have a dog run, which is our one event, which we gather money, and this is one of the t-shirts. And usually, we help pay the nurses, what is it?
The school
Nurses. Okay. We pay their tuition,
Their dues.
oh, their dues.
Nurses.
Okay, I guess the school nurses have dues that they must pay, so we, the funds go for that. So those are some of the activities we do, and we would love to have people join us in this cause. If you have a heart for giving for children. And does anyone have any questions?
Does it cost anything?
Okay, it costs nothing to be a member. If you would to be a volunteer. If you would love to be a member, I believe it costs something like $125.
105.
105
A year.
a year.
Okay.
Right. But you don't have to be a member to volunteer. A lot of our people that are the drivers for the mobile meals aren't members. Any other thoughts?
Anybody want to come out today for a walk?
Okay.
We'd love to have your helping hands.
Well, in conclusion, I just want to say, all you need to realize is that for your own happiness and fulfillment, it really is good to be good. And science says so.
This is wrapping up. I did want to say that I was a driver for the mobile meal delivery. It's really pretty easy. I think it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Are you still doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, 4 days a week. And so they just have a list of people. If you deliver to like 3 or 4 people. It's in a geographic area. So you go pick up the meals at the restaurant and then you deliver to the people who are unable to make their own food. It's a really important service. They really found a gap where we didn't have any food delivery for our people who are shut in. So if that's something that you can do for volunteer, I never became a member, but I did deliver. I did deliver for years though. Me and my mom did it together. It was really fun. So it is noon. We like to start and stop on time. We're so thankful that everybody came. We hope that you learned some great new things, and we will see you next month where we're going to learn about alternative wellness options. So we'll see you then. Thank you.